Hello everyone and welcome back to Not My Lifetime channel for a brand new show with a fellow City YouTuber, but also a great friend of mine, City Bevo. How you doing, my friend?
I'm really good, mate. How are you doing?
Fantastic, mate, as always. Fantastic. It's a different show. It's a different kind of, series that we're doing. Rather than just focusing on the current day stuff, we're going back in time to a different point of City history, a time where it was completely like anyone thinking how it is on Twitter nowadays or time. Trust me, it was completely different. I was like, not even remember a lot of it because I was like a little at that point. I was like 5 foot something at that point. Not a,
The reasons
one
I've got grey hairs at 31.
I mean, my hair's just about right, but I know as I get older, it will start getting grey. I know it will at some point. The years of winning stuff will get to my head at some point. I know it will. But let's have a look at the chat. The big up Harry as always. Appreciate all support, mate, as always. Obviously on our show, on shows that we do in the podcast. Always appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for much being in the show on the stream. Big Caribbean Racer is always in the chats. Big up obviously being a mod. Big up the girls. Yeah, very funny, Harry. Very fucking funny. 2006, sorry, 7 and 8. I've forgotten what year it was then. Do you know what? Before we actually get into 7 and 8, right? The whole era. Let's actually do a little bit of backstory into this season, because 2007 was a very weird time to see. Owned by a company, a limited company. I remember off the top of my head now. It was on Wardle, something like that. Was it? Who was in charge at the time? Was it?
Yeah, I think it was. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I think you're there or thereabouts. Yeah, just trying to think.
It was a whole different backing, a whole different level of of a team. So it was a whole different time for the club, and we had Stuart Pearce in charge. Oh, that season. The Stuart Pearce season will always be one that at some point we'll have to delve into. Like, don't wrong. Before people carry on, it isn't Main Road Days. That's Martin's series, and trust me, watch that series. It's a very good series and worth watching if you want to know more about the Main Road Years. Very good series. Subscribe to Mancunian Way. You haven't subscribed to it already. But 2006 to 7, yeah, like Stuart in charge with mid-table, obviously, best we get like 9th or 10th. It wasn't like, we were very mid-table, like a modern day Crystal Palace, we were pretty much.
9th and 10th would have been, 9th and 10th would have been a good season. I remember, I think it was either 2005 to 6 or 6 to 7. I can't remember what year it was, but I know we finished, I think, about 16th. It was borderline relegation.
6-7 14th. FA Premier League. Fucking hell. Trust me, as we go on this series, we'll see a lot of
back in the Barclays days, wasn't it?
Barclays men. Barclays men is but I mean, mate, in 7 and 8, our top 6-7, our top goal scorer was Joey Barton. That's how bad it was for us. 48 goals in a season over all competitions. Joey Barton being a top scorer for runaways. Jesus,
that was. I'm sure that was the year that he stuck the cigar out on Osman Darboe. I think it was. I think it was.
I think that's the one.
In the training ground. Yeah,
pretty good. He actually was before Southgate. Well, funny enough, in 7 and 8, we'll go on to that. Gareth Southgate, manager of Middlesbrough, because the last game of the season, 7 and 8 for me was the year for me of that game. And trust me, we'll go again before the end of the show. There's a lot to cover beforehand. A lot to cover. It isn't just a season review. This is like a club review. But the club was a whole different kettle of fish compared to where we are now. The multi-club model, the Melbourne City, Mumbai City, New York City FC, nowhere near that level. I mean, now we've got a buddy just, just one club, like home form out the window, David James going up front. Honestly, people have no... Imagine Twitter.
Stuart Pearce with his bunny rabbit on the touchline.
And this is also in our first year at the Etihad as well, or the City Manchester Stadium, as it was called then. It was called Etihad then because I think they had the Etihad sponsorship. But 14th place obviously the year before, quarterfinal, going out the quarterfinal, going out to is it Chesterfield went out to? Is it something like that? Was it like a really bad knockout or something like that? I'm just trying to go to the game. Chesterfield lost Chesterfield away 2-1 in the cup, and off Blackburn Rovers as well.
Yes, I'm just trying to go back that far. Yeah, it was Chesterfield. Was it 2-1?
Now people 2-1 loss. Yeah, Samurai scored, but we lost 2-1.
Yeah,
mate. People have no idea. Like, I mean, I was very young, so I can't remember very, very much, but I do know of it. But I know you particularly, Bevo, know a lot more than I do about it. Trust me, it's more a learning curve for me, if anything, more about the club as I got older. But it was a whole different club. I mean, they're wrong to be in the top flight after years of like relegation back and forth. You know, like a yo-yo team in Championship, League One, obviously back then the second division. Was great to be a mid-table team, I suppose, compared to where we were beforehand. But when you compare it to now, it's night and day. Night and day levels of of differences and the way the club was run. I mean, if you look at our squad, obviously the year before we obviously got on this one, we had like Isaacson in goal. We have Michael Richards coming through as a young player. Michael Bull
bursting on the scene.
He's bursting on the scene. Yep, just about Stephen Ireland, Emil Penza. Bloody hell, his name? Darius Lascelles. Still a Weaver in the club. Nicky Weaver was still in the club.
We did. Yeah, we did.
So was Dickov. Danny Mills was playing. Didi Haman, Richard Dunn, Sun Jihai, legend, club legend, of course. Bernardo Carradi, another one. Another name. Joe Hart coming through.
About Bernardo Carradi, honestly.
Bernardo Carradi.
I'm gonna have to get his stats up for you, but as a striker, right, his stats were awful. I'll get him up for you now.
Yeah, well, I'll go through it. Jordan, I can't remember him personally. Obviously, Ismail Darbo, Stephen Ireland, Joey Parton, Jamel Abdoun. I recognise that name. I'm guessing he was shit.
Yeah. Midfielder, possibly.
Well, he was number 10, I think, that year, so he must have been an attacking player. Obviously, for Sel, Dickov, Distan, and Neddy Manuha. It was good for us when we played. DeMarcus Beasley, that's another player, isn't it? DeMarcus Beasley on loan.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's one of the other stuff more than us, but a player associated with us. Not just on loan, but he was playing for us for a point.
Right. Are you ready for this?
Go on then.
So Bernardo Carradi, yeah?
Yeah.
Started off at Valencia. I'll go from 2004 to 5. Started off at Valencia. Well, he was at Lazio and Inter Milan before that, but he had no games at Inter Milan and no goals. He went to Lazio. He had 64 games and 20 goals. And then he went to Valencia, 21 games, 3 goals. And then he went to Parma, 36 games, 10 goals. City, 25 games, 3 goals. Then went back to Parma, 27 games, 5 goals. Then he went to Regina, 30 games, 10 goals. Then he went to Udinese, and at Udinese, he had 37 appearances and 1 goal.
Jeez.
So you're averaging roughly a goal every 3 to 4 games as a striker. And that's if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah. Fucking hell, mate. I mean, what was that? Matt Mills, Hatem Trabelsi. Jesus Christ, I throw it back. Trevor Sinclair. Daniel Sturridge as well coming through. As well at this point coming through. And also Michael Johnson, which we'll go on to, obviously, the teams we'll go on to now. I mean, before Phil Foden, there was obviously
he could have been the next big thing.
He could have been, man. He was some player. Watching some goals, obviously, some actual compilation someone did of him, and it was
And he could take a corner. We could have done with him in the last few years.
The current side, right? It can't beat a first man. So, like, maybe a big achievement from now, mate. You've got Kevin De Bruyne. You've got Diaz, Rodri in the box. How don't we score more corners now? What are we doing in training?
Yeah,
from set pieces.
Yeah,
like come on, man. That should be our strong point.
Yeah, and then you got Briggsy talking about Michael Ball. I remember. I think it was the game. I think there was a game. I think it was at the Etihad. It might have been away. Either way, I went to it. I remember when he he stomped on Ronaldo. I thought that was quite. That was back when derby days were derby days.
Mate, yeah, and we'll go on to that. Well, we'll go on to that in a bit as well, the derby days, because obviously this was obviously the year that obviously a little bit changed. I wouldn't say like a lot changed. Obviously, it was before a takeover. Obviously, of Sheikh Mansour, obviously, and this is the year that everyone kind of forgets now. The whole THAKSIN SHINAWATRA era. There's a lot more about SHINAWATRA. People don't actually realise there's a lot of corruption, a lot of like Thai investment, Chinese investment. It was very dodgy, but a lot of.
Christ, imagine the charges we'd have now. we still now. Imagine what the charges would have been back then. Would have been 225, not 115.
Nationally, probably now. Nationally, certainly.
Yeah.
Bring on freaking Russian diamonds away. We will be there.
Wasn't it to do with either tax evasion or money laundering or something?
That was it, yeah. Because you know what, right? People won't know what I'm on about, right? But if you want to know more about City, a bit more of a video vibe, there's a guy I watch called his name's Mackwell. People don't recognize who he is. He does a lot of like historical football stuff, and then he called a video that we obviously this was before the Champions League, called Man City Legacy of Failure in the Champions League, which was fair enough because we weren't doing well in Champions League at all at that time. But he gave a good actual overview of the club history properly in depth from the very start to where we were obviously at that point. And it was obviously used a lot of videos and memes, which is quite funny because it kind of works well with City as well and the hilariousness of how we were run. But if you want the idea of that, trust me, I'll put a link in the description of the video of the stream afterwards because it's well worth watching. Actually, it's very insightful. You know, especially if you're wanting more about the club without to read too much into it. But it's definitely worth watching. But when you look back at it, as he was saying about THAKSIN SHINAWATRA, it's a mad time, mad year. Like it was the year that everyone kind of like forgets. Like started off decently, obviously under Sven-Goran Eriksson, RIP, of course, recently. It was a very different City, but it was still similar in some ways. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was an awful season. Like 9th in the league at the time was actually pretty good for us at that point.
Yeah,
but it was just the fact that it could have been more. It could have been more than that if things that go differently. But I think when we look at the context of where we were at the time, that kind of investment in the club, especially is it run by just some random guy in his company. It was now actually a guy with a bit of money behind him who could actually properly have like 8 or so players into the squad. Obviously, in a bit we'll go on to those players that they actually brought in a bit and discuss that because there's some players that even to me now are some of my favourite players that I've sort of seen for City. Elano especially. Love Elano. Incredible player. Yeah, before Savio, before the Brazilian players that were.
Yeah. The thing that I want to sort of mention before people think that obviously what SHINAWATRA did, from a business aspect and a personal life, then by all means, that's very well publicized. What I would say is that he was definitely an owner which really appreciated his fans. I met him quite regularly after games outside the Colin Bell stand. And he would always make time to come out and sign things and have pictures with people, and that's something that you don't see a lot of owners do. Generally, a lot of owners don't even bother going to games, let alone coming out afterwards and whether we won or lost, and he would be there to take pictures with the fans, and he was genuinely like a really, really nice man. It was just unfortunate with the circumstances that happened.
Like he meant really well, didn't he? Like, he meant really well as a man as well. Like, he generally wanted to give his all for the club. I think it's that the problem is he was at a time where it just wasn't going to work at all long term for us financially and that. But thankfully, it worked out for us long term. But I always wonder what would have happened if we actually had him for longer and it actually lasted longer than what it did. I mean, I think a lot of it is just down to the fact that at the time, seeing like near 2008, the bank that was at the crisis as well with the banks as well. It was a whole different period of time, of different like era of money and investment in the sport. So it wasn't quite there yet. But you think like the players that he brought in though, like when you look back at like Rolando Bianchi from we got him in from Regina. Gelson Fernandez. He's a player that obviously wouldn't say everyone remembers him a lot. Giovanni was a fantastic player. The goals he scored. Huh?
Was he a left back?
Midfielder. I don't remember what. Was it a whole? It scores goals for us.
I do remember him. I just remember there was a short little left back that we signed because I remember going to Wolves away around that year.
Garrido.
And yeah, that's it.
Javier Garrido. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, Javier Garrido was very interesting. Yeah, so we got Bianchi from Regina. We got Gelson from Shun. We got Giovanni from Cruzeiro. Who, bear in mind, Cruzeiro were actually a good Brazilian team at that time. Like you look at like Santos and Sao Paulo and that, and teams like Independiente now play. Oh, well, that's Argentina, sorry. But some teams like Brazil and Argentina were very, very top clubs in their time. Well, a lot of like Libertadores is obviously and produced some fantastic players. Like Brazil were at that time, I pop out some incredible players like Maicon Liete and players like that. And players obviously like you obviously would have seen on FIFA, but also real life as well. Obviously, Rubinho as well was another player which will go on to next season. But there's so many players that came out from Brazil. I mean, Neymar, I think, obviously the most popular one, which is fair enough. From Santos, incredible potential. I think his career is definitely a what if for me of Neymar. It could have been so much better of a Ballon d'Or worthy career if it had just gone his way. But shame, really.
To be in the position that he was in at Santos, and to be considered in contention for the Ballon d'Or, that's never been heard of before.
No, definitely not.
And that was the reason why Barcelona ended up signing him, because he was this young kid at the time that it's like all of a sudden he's been considered for Ballon d'Or and he's playing in the Brazilian league. Like, what's going on?
Well, no, I mean, it's why like Savio, because Savio has that ability. Neymar, the skill set, and the ability to dribble and just go for it. And it's like a Brazilian Mahrez, which I think is insane because you've got the technical ability, dribbling skill of Mahrez with a bit of samba flair. Like that is in itself a frightening proposition for a player to have. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think with Savio, he'll come good in the next 2 years. He'll have a good season this year, but he'll get better and better with us as the years go on.
Course.
And I think,
of course, yeah, without doubt,
it wouldn't surprise me if the number 7 shows him. Although I know why he got number 26. I understand why. If he keeps it, I still think it's a good number to have it anyway. But if he got 7, I wouldn't mind. But I think for me, if he keeps the number that he's got right now, fair, Mahrez. I mean,
I'm gonna open this up, and I think the number 7 will go to either Wirtz or Musiala when we sign him.
Yeah, because 10's Grealish until he leaves, 9's Haaland, 11's Doku, 8's Cover. Well, I reckon long term will be interesting who gets 8 because Cover long term in the next 4 years anyway. Obviously, another Gundogan. Thing is, 17's a weird number because that's a weird number to. I mean, it's such a special number that it's 17 now. Now, I'm not saying retire.
17's like 21.
Yeah, I'm like, so retire number? No, don't retire numbers. I find that a little bit weird because I think
the only number which I agree with them retiring was Mark Vivian Foe's.
Yeah,
I agree with them retiring that number.
Yeah, absolutely that one. Yeah, agreed. But no, sorry. Back on to what obviously the players reported a couple of years ago. Gone forward and backwards there. Obviously in City history there. Before we got Aguero from Atletico Madrid, Petrov we got from Atletico Madrid, and he, by the way, Martin Petrov was underrated for us. He was brilliant.
Oh, I loved Martin Petrov. Martin Petrov with gloves was like Mahrez with gloves.
Yeah, he was. Bulgarian wing wizard, mate. Honestly, but at the time where Bulgarian players are coming through, Petrov, was it Martin?
Talking of Bulgarian players, Valery Bozhinov.
Valery Bozhanov, yeah, that's another one from Fiorentina. We got Valery Bozhanov. Jesus, mate, all these names are coming out with, mate. Honestly, different time.
All knowledge.
Chorluka, another one from Zagreb, Dinamo Zagreb, which is where Gvardiol and Ono came from.
Little fact for you about veteran Chorluka. When he came to City, I don't think he had. I don't think he had a car, because every time after a game, he'd get picked up in just a bog standard little white taxi after a game. He used to get picked up directly from outside the Colin Bell stand, and he used to come out of the main entrance, walk around, and then just jump in this taxi that was just literally parked up waiting for him, and he'd get in it and drive off.
you wouldn't see that now. You would not see that now, mate. No, but football back then, mate, was a different time. Of, I mean, obviously the league was popular in its own way, but it was more for the big teams that was actually one the big team yet. A few years down the line, we would get bigger and bigger, but we were still very much a novice team at this point, obviously, to try and get their way up there again. But I think for me, what was it? Chorluka for me was a good one, because I think I wouldn't say he was terrible, but he's one of the players that could have been good if it just worked out in other stuff. I mean, was it Tottenham had him as well? And was it QPR as well had him?
I know he went to Tottenham.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
I know he went. I know he went to Tottenham. I think he did go to QPR after that. I think now he's the assistant Croatian manager, or he's a Croatian team coach or something now.
Mate, he's training Gvardiol now. I'll find out, because we're from Zagreb defender. Mate, to be fair, Chorluka was like back then the Croatian, the answer for Gvardiol in a way. It sounds like very weird to say that, but when you look at the players that like nowadays compared to back then, like look at Ilano, we got from Shakhtar Donetsk. We actually need to realise that we've got from Shakhtar Donetsk, who, bear in mind, were known for Brazilian players, Costa, Marlos, some. I mean, I remember Fernandinho, Talisca as well. I'm forgetting. But Brazilian players were coming out of Shakhtar like it was nothing. And Dodo as well, who went to Fiorentina recently. Some great players, that you can look back on at Shakhtar. That was some ballers now. But Ilano was one. I mean,
we've always done good business with Shakhtar, haven't we? Fernandinho, Ilano.
Have. Didn't realise that. We've got some good, yeah. Honestly, it was very good. Javier Garrido from Sociedad. I mean, I forget he actually came from Sociedad. I mean, obviously, I remember him a little bit, but he wasn't the best, was he, Garrido? As far as I'm aware, or was he good? I'm not sure people remember him.
Garrido. I'm just trying to. Let me just bring up his face.
Big up the City Martin Road. I much appreciate it, guys. I much appreciate it.
Yeah, I remember him. That's the player that I was on about that was a left back.
Yeah. Big up everyone, obviously for coming in from Luke's stream just now with Martin. Much appreciated, lads. Obviously, make sure to like the video stream, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Bevo as well. Follow up, guys, and sort of get comments in on obviously the stream we're doing today. We're going into 2007 to 08, discussing the weird season we had before the takeover. Discussing certain players we had. Feel free to obviously tune in, and give your take on all as well. But yeah, Sociedad. Sorry, because you say again. Sorry, Matt. I'm just trying to remember what you were saying while I was trying to do everything else. Sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah, no. I was saying before about there was a left back, and I thought it was Giovanni. It wasn't. You're right. It was Garrido. He was the left back. He was steady from what I remember. I think he did have a goal or two in him. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to sort of that side of the pitch, the defence side of things, especially wing backs, they do go unnoticed a lot of the time. because, you know, at the end of the day, they're not the last man stopping the ball going in the net, but, you know, they're also not the ones that are getting up there for the goals and assists. So I think left backs and right backs generally go quite unnoticed.
Exactly. And also, sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah.
No,
I was just going to say, so I think I do remember he did have a few good spells in him. But generally, like, yeah. Cheers, Steve. But yeah, overall, you know, nothing special, but you know, certainly wasn't a bad player for us at all.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, as obviously Bojnov as well from Fiorentina, Felipe Caicedo from Basel. Oh, Caicedo, is he still playing now? Caicedo, sorry, that's why he's still playing still. Somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you now, Gareth Barry's still playing, mate.
Like non-league, he's still playing.
He is. Gareth Barry's still playing non-league football now. He can't give it up.
Well, mate, ridiculous, isn't it? Honestly. Before carry on, just a quick question from Brian about we actually could do this as a comment, but we'll answer it anyway while we're here. Can we see what about? But we could do. I mean, Rico played there for England, did a pretty good job, so I'm sure he can play there. But it's obviously up to Pep what he goes for, obviously, and that one. But we'll also go into that a bit later on. But that question, Ryan, I think he could definitely play there, I reckon. Big up, Luke, for the raid. Much appreciated, my friend. Hope you had a good stream yourself with Martin just now. Yeah, mate. Steve, we're going back, Steve. We're going back to them, mate. Honestly, wow. Yeah. Oh, it's a bit slow today on him. Yeah, 7th tier, he's in 7th tier football. Like that's like hashtag United League. Hashtag United League. Fucking hell. Madness.
He's playing Girth and Turf on the weekend.
Girth and Turf. God, he's still playing football. Fair play, Gareth Barry, man. Gareth Barry was underrated player. Underrated player, Gareth Barry. There's a lot of respect.
Hasn't he got like the most appearances in Premier League history or something?
He does. Yeah, more than Giggs. Rocky Santa Cruz is still playing football. Jesus.
Wow. Who's he playing for now? I'm going to have to Google it.
I think he's playing for like is it a Paraguayan team, I think, something, or a Colombian team? I mean, what it is, but he's still playing somewhere.
He's 43. And yeah, he plays for Premier Division club Libertad.
That's a club name, apparently.
Libertad. Yeah.
Libertad. Yeah, that's it. Gareth Barry was at Villa at some point before it went off. So yeah, I remember he was at Villa. And also another ball player I forgot to mention was Stadium Petrov, legend. Yeah, beat cancer, came back playing football. What a player, man! Great player. But yeah, honestly, a lot of players deserve a lot of flowers. This is what this series is away, sort of player sort of play for us at the time. But one player we're going to pick up is Benjani from Portsmouth. Celebration against United. I'm not going to do it because I'll probably butcher it. But Benjani, mate. Honestly, his career will always be known for them goals, but I don't give a shit. He's still a legend in my eyes just for doing that. Like the way he sort of
the money that we spent on him though was ridiculous.
3.87 million.
Considering he was coming from Portsmouth.
Yeah, 3.87 million, which people think that's a lot of money. Back then, money that then was a lot. Like 1.5 million was like 5 million. It's a different time that was. Like that now is like pocket change now.
I thought it was more than that, you know. I thought we paid like 10 million plus for him.
No, it was cheaper than that, actually. I think my expensive signing was Bianchi.
Yeah.
And then
that's where I got it from, Steve. That's where I got it from. That story. If you've not seen it, check it out. It's funny.
Yeah, and we brought in in 3 Thai players that just never did anything after that.
I remember that because we made a big we had a big summer that year, and we kind of just brought in a few sort of half decent names. I think that was the season that we brought in Santa Cruz. And there was just these 3 Thai players lined up at the back, and it was just like, where have these come from? It it must have been something to do with
that was
being
it.
the ex-Thai Prime Minister at the time.
That was
maybe there
was the payments. Yeah, it was actually, sorry. It was a Thai sort of thing. It was like, well, if you want to know his career, so basically he went on loan to Grasshopper. He didn't actually play for us, so he went on loan to a Swiss team. They went back to what was it? He went back to, I think it was Thailand, and he's played a few games obviously for Thailand. Yeah, he actually had a pretty good career for them. He actually played. He actually placed. He's 36 now. Is one of the guys. I'll go through their career quickly. He's played with Thailand, 128 games for them, and got 64 goals for them for Thailand. He's now playing. Yeah, he's played in Japan. He's played for Almeria. He played for Almeria, Spain. he's now playing for BG Pathan United, who are a Thai in the Thai professional division. Okay, well, he's playing for Thailand now, but mad career for him though. And a Saiweo, I'm just gonna look to just you never know. I mean, all right, this guy here's retired now. He's just didn't play much after that for us. He went on loan to Club Bruges with this guy. It's never good for us. So it's a weird one. It's definitely like a Thai PR move, that one. I'm not against it, but you can tell that they were never going to do anything for us. But
I'm trying to remember whose testimonial was it fairly recently. It's been in the last sort of 5-6 years, and it was at the Etihad. It was someone's testimonial.
Companies.
And Martin Petrov played. Benjani played.
Company.
Was it Company? Because I was shocked. I was shocked that Benjani's now bald.
I know, because Silva didn't has had one yet. Neither has Aguero. Yeah, I mean,
no.
That's a weird one. It's a weird one that comes because both of them retired different reasons. So I don't know how that's going to work. Really, I mean, obviously I saw David Silva come back. Obviously against Wolves, which was quite cool. Seeing him the pitch, it was really cool thing. I mean, obviously Kev's going to get one. I mean, Kev's probably Jesus Christ, they might play well from that pitch, like Sane, Torre. Fucking, that'd be an insane like game of football. That'd be honestly. Belgian players in there as well.
Yeah,
it'd be a mad one. You know, Dzeko, is it Wolfsburg players as well.
Yeah, I think what you'll probably see, at some point, you'll see an Aguero testimonial and a David Silva testimonial. And I think, but you're probably talking maybe like 3-4 years time.
Joe, what I'd love, right, if Kev's testimonial, he has Haaland and Aguero in the same team to play with.
Imagine it.
That would be illegal. Like you just like constant goals. No, you got Silva and De Bruyne with like Fernandinho, and you got Haaland and Aguero up front. A ridiculous attack play. That'd be mad, honestly. But yeah, I mean, so overall, like, the squad itself was still the same, really. I mean, I don't remember it changing much, really. I won't bear with me. I'm trying to sort of. That's where I was. So players who left, obviously, it was Trabelsi left to Al Hilal, but then obviously Al Hilal weren't even the team they are now. But Silva Distan left.
Didn't even know they were established.
No, they're still around. Still around, mate. Silva Distan went to Portsmouth on a free. Joey Bartman to Newcastle. Well, I mean, apart from that, didn't really. We went to Charlton. Trevor Sinclair went to Cardiff. Darby went to Lazio. A lot of players just like left who weren't even that good anyway. Like reserve players didn't really sort of get any game time. So it's definitely a much stronger team, obviously, this year. Also loaned in Neri Castillo from Shakhtar Donetsk.
Wow,
that's the throwback name. We also have a Felipe Mancini from Inter Milan. I don't know who the hell who was he. Sorry,
sorry, mate.
A Felipe Mancini. Basically, this guy's career didn't get anywhere. His career started in 2008 and ended in 2013. Didn't play a single game.
I can't say that I remembered it.
No. But yeah. So basically, what we'll do is we'll go on to the actual games now of the under Sven. So if I remember rightly, this was the season that Alana scored that goal against Newcastle. Was it the free kick?
Oh, that was a beast of a free kick.
Yeah. I mean, the way that went in.
I remember that. Right hand side of the goal, whipped it into the top left corner.
Oh, mate. Briggsy, sorry about company, as far as I'm aware, came in the year after, I think, or was it the second year?
I think what he was on about was the company testimonial. He was saying, "Is it?"
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. No worries.
How
yeah. How did the Red Cartels do in the Champions League? Oh, what did they do? Oh wait, United won, but we actually beat them twice, didn't we? in the year they won Champions League, we beat them twice to be home and away, didn't we? Benjani as well.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Was it man?
I remember.
Wait,
that's 116. 116.
Oh, that's it. There we go. If 116, 115. Fair enough. Add it to the list. Beat United twice next season. Can't be doing that. Not allowed. That's why the thumbnail's bloody Giovanni as well. That's for Giovanni in that thumbnail. Legendary picture as well. See, I'm trying to get an Alano kit. I'm trying to get one, but it's a lot of money. I want to get like the purple away kit at that time with Alano on the back of it. It's such a nice kit as well. But again, like retro kits like that are hard to get because although they're not like very, very old seasons, it's like it's just it costs money to get them. But and also at the time as well, like this was for Etihad, we had Thomas Cook, didn't we, as the as a sponsor as well, which is obviously a different time now.
Around 2007, 2008, is that when we had Kasper Schmeichel? Is that when we signed Kasper?
I don't think so.
Because I know that Kasper Schmeichel and Isaacson both played in the same team.
Right, so I'll have a look for you. So sorry, people. I'm actually sort of we did. So we had Kasper Schmeichel coming through at this point, and Hart. That's it. We had Hart and Schmeichel at the same time, and also some other players to talk about. So I'll go through the squad we have. So basically, the same sort of players again as last season. Michael was vice captain at this point. So we had obviously Kasper. We had Ched Evans. Remember him? His career, man. I mean, his career. I mean, in a way, because especially after what happened, obviously, with what was accused of in the end. Was it innocent?
Well, where that happened, where all of that happened, that was maybe an 8-minute drive from my house.
Was it?
Yeah, it was all in the local newspaper and everything because he's originally from just down the road.
I mean, it was, man. Like, I remember that goal. It gets given. Yeah, it was against given. I remember it now. Like, and bear in mind, she's given it actually good for Newcastle as well. So it was a good move from us to get him in at the time. It was a couple of years later. So yeah,
I remember going and watching City and Shay Given. Was when the ball was at the other end of the pitch. I remember Shay Given was doing press-ups and sit-ups in the box just to keep warm. And I've never seen that before. Just a keeper just sitting down on the floor doing like 10 sit-ups and 10 press-ups just to keep warm. Crazy.
I mean, Edison's not that at all. Edison just stands like a robot, just waiting, ready to really move again. Honestly,
Edison's there in their box.
Yeah, go on, give something to do. Other players we had was Sam Williamson, who didn't even play after that. Really, his career just went one way and nowhere. Sturridge, Kelvin Atuhu, remember that name? That's an old name. That is. Shalom Logan. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Shalom Logan. I thought, yeah. Sorry, I butchered that name again. Sorry, I'm terrible at names, honestly. Right, so that's the squad obviously caught up. So we'll go through the season and break it down. I mean, it was actually not a bad start, was it? Well, our first 3 games beat West Ham, Derby, and also beat United 1-0 with a Giovanni goal. But probably one of my best I think I've seen under Sven. Is it being first? Is it first as well? Yeah, first at one point, is it? Yeah, the only time actually first the whole season was actually match day 3. It's a bit of United.
Yeah,
that was the peak, and it's descended.
Yeah. Downhill after that.
Oh god! See, people don't realize it. Imagine Twitter now, mate. On that, fucking hell. Imagine Twitter now dealing with that. It'd be a fucking nightmare. I mean, because obviously the games we lost. Obviously, we started pretty well. Then maybe we lost to Arsenal 1-3 for the Fabregas goal. I can't remember the goal what it was actually like, but I know we lost 1-0 to them. Then I lost to Blackburn through Benny McCarthy. Christ, Benny McCarthy's a throwback.
What was that player that played for Blackburn? He had like longish blonde hair.
Gareth Pedersen, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. No, not Pedersen.
I think you might be right.
He was a baller, Pedersen. He was a baller.
Yeah,
he was a great player.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic player. That was it. Yes, Steve. I think I remember that. He did. I saw that. Yeah, mad. But yeah, mate, Harry, mate, Pedersen. People got about Barclays, mate. Pedersen was one of them. Great player, Morgan Pedersen. Fantastic player. Yeah. Even as he got older, just hit Chris Samba as well. Chris Samba was a fantastic. Yakubu as well for Blackburn at the time as well. Like Blackburn has some good players, man, in the team. Honestly, it's a shame. It's a shame because obviously recently they've had Bresson Diaz, Smodics recently as well, but it's not the same level of players anymore. But Blackburn has some players that really were just outstanding. Like, is it a David as well? The guy did that Rabona fail. I remember that.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, it wasn't even for a shot on goal though; it was for a pass.
Oh no! Every time I watched that first time,
it wasn't like he was going for like a spectacular goal. He was trying to do it as a pass.
Haman, right, have you seen his commentary? I think I saw that. Was it for Bayern? He's criticising Bayern players. He was getting called off.
Oh, he criticizes City players all the time on things like TalkSport and things like that.
Overrated player, mate. Overrated player, man. Overrated, man. He tapped so much for someone who wasn't that good anyway. Mate, he's still playing, but football.
Never.
No fucking way. I'm sorry. No way. No way is he still playing football. That's mental. He is. Of course, he's Norwegian. No wonder I liked him so much. No, he's not. He's recently just retired. I think he's just recently retired. He was playing for Ranheim. As far as I'm aware, they're a Norwegian team. But that's like he was playing for like 43. Or recently, he was 43 years old, mate. 42. That's crazy. 35 goals at Blackburn, mate. What a career he had, mate. Honestly, what a career. Madness, though. That's mad. He's still playing football. Before that, I'll Colin Hendry. Oh, Jesus Christ, Colin Hendry has to throw back as well. Oh. So yeah, so honestly, after the Blackburn and Arsenal, obviously we beat Villa 1-0. Johnson again, obviously getting a goal. And we drew 3-3. It's very mixed results this season. It wasn't like consistent. It was like we had a decent start to the season. Then we kind of just faded away, like the draws, losses. It was like we could, if we had just kept consistent the entire season, it might have got obviously better. I know we got to cut them in the end for like fair play back then, which is obviously a whole different thing now. But when you look back then, like it could have been a lot better if he just been consistent in certain games.
I think if you were to look at sort of where we came from to where we went to, so obviously we went from Stuart Pearce, finishing 15th, 16th in the table, to then going to Sven, who at the time was a very recognised manager, obviously just at that point had not long left the England setup. So I think from my memory of it, back then, the City fans were just absolutely made up. The fact that, we'd gone from Stuart Pearce, who had been at the club for quite a long time. And then, we ended up getting Sven, who was a very recognised, prestigious manager in his own right. And at the time, we weren't as overly privileged as what we are now. If we go from like Pep Guardiola to, I don't know, I'm just going to chuck a name out there like Lee Carsley or something, everyone will be like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, but whereas back then, we went from kind of the position that we were in, where we did struggle. We struggled a lot. So then all of a sudden we got taken over by THAKSIN SHINAWATRA, ended up bringing in, a very prestigious manager in Sven, who, I believe before England had a very successful club career. And I think just the whole atmosphere around the club around that time was just completely full of excitement, and we could see that the club was going in the right direction.
So we did. I'll be honest with you, we did. The Sven took Hughes, man. I mean, Jesus, man. Look, we'll get on to the Mark Hughes era at someone down the line. We will definitely talk about Mark Hughes and that, because that was a very different. Like, don't get me wrong, the Sven year we had him for, I do wonder what would happen if we actually had him for longer than what we did. A bit more time with the team, a bit more. I mean, obviously it doesn't matter now, but I do wonder with Sven, if we had more time with him, a couple more years after. We ended the year pretty poorly, but I'd like to have seen a bit more investment in certain positions, a bit more better players in that team, with a much more rounded system. How would have looked? Especially
Hindsight's a beautiful thing, though, because if we didn't have Mark Hughes, we wouldn't have got company.
It's a good point. It is. It is, and who knows what happened after Sven? Like, I'm not saying we would have done anything, but Sven-Goran Eriksson was definitely an underrated manager. He was so good at inspiring players, and it's a shame, obviously, because I think obviously, like, overall, what I say was a successful season. I mean, you obviously got Europe, which is great, but it definitely could have been a lot better. I think towards the end, if we just kept a bit more consistency, especially at the start, how good we started the season, despite losing a couple of games 1-0. But again, we look at where we came from. It's definitely a massive difference to where we are now, if you know what I mean, which is obviously important.
Just trying to go back and remember. It was maybe 2008 to 9. I'm just trying to remember. I can't remember if it was 2007 to 8 or 8 to 9. It must have been 8. It must have been 8 to 9 or even 9 to 10. Was when we were in Europe in Europa League, and that's where the Poznan was born. Because I remember I was at that game, and we were playing Lech Poznan, and there was a player that played for them called Alan. He was just called Alan.
That was it, Alan. Yes.
The entire game, every time that Alan touched the ball, the whole crowd just went mental and just started cheering. It just Hulk. Crazy times.
It's like Hulk. Remember Hulk's a player? He was a player for Porto. He could have been a world-class player. He could have been, because the powerful shot he had in him as well. I do wonder what happened if he went to the Premier League or something like that. It would have been insane seeing Hulk. I mean, he went to, is it Angie, or was it Zenit Petersburg? Zenit, was it? It was Zenit Petersburg, wasn't it?
Zenit, yeah.
When the Russian league was like a massive oil league, wasn't it, for a bit, wasn't it? Before obviously it went. But yeah, honestly, it was But Harry makes a good point. Imagine those Fedex's players we can't see a job like win the title. So exactly. So without like the movement of management we had, we wouldn't have been where we are. But I do wonder what if then, not if Mark Hughes at all, nowhere near, but Sven especially, what if given him one more after, it makes you wonder. You know what I mean? But again, in a way, I'm happy it didn't. But you wonder in a different world, a different universe, how that looked. But I'm sure we'll never know, obviously.
I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason. And, you know, if we hadn't have signed Mark Hughes as our manager, we wouldn't have got company. You know, if we wouldn't have had Mancini, we wouldn't have won the title. You know, I'm a strong believer in you know, everything does happen for a reason. And, you know, I wouldn't swap my journey for anybody's.
No, I'm not agree on that one. Right, so I'm having a quick look at that Lech Poznan game. So we lost. So what was it? Was it 1? Lost, didn't we? Lost 3-1, didn't we? Or was it away? Or was it at home we played them?
Which game, sorry, mate?
So I'm looking at the Poznan game. Was it the away game or was it the home game that you went to?
Oh, I went to the home game.
The home game, right? No, I'm just trying to have a look, sort of see, because obviously Harry said that the DM was a beat. I can't remember who the DM was. All right, so we won 3-1.
I think the DM was Alan. I think he was the DM.
He was, yeah. I mean,
Alan.
Alan. That was it. Oh yeah, Alan. Yeah. Was this in 2010? Was it before that? I'm trying to remember.
I couldn't remember whether it was 08 to 09 or 09 to 10. I couldn't remember.
Okay, no worries.
It definitely was 07 to 08 because I don't think we were in Europe in 07.
Yeah, bit up corner. Yeah, some building, mate. Hulk's shots, mate. Bloody hell! Like the amount of goals you could have got a whole compilation of Hulk goals, mate. One of them players that could have very easily been a massive player for his career if it had just been different. But yeah. I mean, Alan was there. I mean, Mancini, Balotelli. Oh my god, yeah, Jesus Christ. Mate,
Alan got City player of this season, yeah.
Jesus, oh mate, there's a throwback. These fans, right, especially on the current day now on Twitter, right, I have no idea how different football was for City to where it is now. Like,
yeah,
I'd love to see them actually one day win the Europa League and the Conference League one day, just to get all three. That's the point. Yeah,
I don't think we'll do it anytime
soon. No, but you never know. Someday we're not quite as good at it. Just win them three, just to get all three, together.
Yeah,
in the collection. But obviously not right now, but you never know one day. So just to provide a bit of context, obviously. So in 08, there was a season. So who won the league? I mean, no one cares who won the league anyway. Boring league, Farmers League,
Farmers League. Yeah.
West Brom Championship. Remember that? I think I remember West Brom won it. Swansea were in League One at this point. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. MK Dons won League Two. I mean, they're still League Two now, aren't they? So it's still shit. Aldershot are still conference anyway. Aldershot, well done, you won the league. It's still the Conference League, lads. Blair, Pompey won the FA Cup. I remember that. Pompey won the FA Cup.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And since then, they're still trying to get back to where they are again. Tottenham won the League Cup. Oh, that's not time they won the trophy.
07, 08 was the last time they won a trophy. Wow.
16, 17 years since Tottenham won a trophy.
So we're calling this show the retro years, but that was the last time that Tottenham won a trophy.
So basically, it's the first year. It's a Tottenham show. That'd be it. It'd be done at this point. Juan de Ramos, bloody, that's a throwback name. Christ, Juan de Ramos. And who won the Community Shield? The Farmers won it, of course. The Farmers League. Yeah. So, in the end, obviously, and we finished 9th in the end. Obviously, qualified for the UEFA Cup first qualifying round. That's a weird time, and so it's mad because Tottenham won the League Cup, so they qualified. This was at a time where loads of teams were like qualifying for like different things at different rounds, wasn't it? Because of winning the cup or winning the fair play stuff, wasn't it? So it's a bit of a different time this was. But yeah, finished 9th. I mean, the thing is, if you actually look at the league as well, obviously the league table, if we had actually won a couple of more games, we'd have got top 6, top 5.
Wow, is that? There wasn't much points in it then.
So we were 9th. So we're 6 points clear of West Ham in the end. Pompey were finished 8th above us, but finished only 2 points above us in the end. Blackburn finished 7th, clear off by 3 points. Villa was 6th, 60 points. We had just won 2 games, would have been 6th in the league and qualified for the Intertoto Cup. And Everton were 10 points clear of us and 5th. So if we won a couple more games, we probably got 5th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if we'd not got hammed 8-1 by Middlesbrough, and maybe one more.
Oh, that's a whole different. That's a whole different section of the show, mate. Because that's a whole different thing. A bit people will discuss it. Because trust me, that's a whole different topic to discuss that game. Because fuck me, it's a shocking game. Like me and Bevo actually watched it over the weekend. Right, the highlights of it. The defending was unbelievable. Like terrible. Like, Dunn getting sent off.
I'm not
like,
in a good way.
It's like Anfield, but all the game put together in one.
Yeah, Richard Dunn with an own goal to kick it off, and then just like open the gates, wasn't it? Open the south gates, yeah.
Open the south gates. Oh, Jesus Christ! So honestly, so yeah. Well, the thing is, obviously, because if you look at obviously at the title race back then, obviously Denmark won it. Chelsea only finished 2 points behind them, and Arsenal finished 4 points behind them. It's quite close year that year for the title race. I mean, Liverpool like fourth, obviously they were like there were bad teams under Torres and that, and Taylor out there, but it wasn't quite a perfect team for Liverpool back. But it was definitely a top four, top three. It was the fourth person, and it was a big gap then. That was a bit more closer now. So everyone obviously much more together now.
Have you seen Torres?
He's buff now, isn't he? Ripped.
He's an absolute unit.
So's Ozil. We've seen Ozil as well. Ozil's ripped as well.
I haven't now.
Oh god! All right, I'll show you this.
Hold on,
I'll see if there's a picture of Ozil. Now have a look. Okay, you know what? I'll share my screen so people can actually have a look at this. But Jesus Christ, you'll be surprised at this, mate. Right, hold on. Share screen. Bit slow, but it will do in a bit.
Yeah, Steve Black. Days when TNS and Midgetland were top European games. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. The new Saints. Oh my God. Here we go, mate. Look at that. Look at Ozil.
Wow.
Look at that, mate. He's ripped.
Shredded.
It's ridiculous. Like, bloody hell, mate. He's like, I don't understand why now, but I mean, could have done that for playing football, but I don't know. It's weird. Like, imagine seeing David Silva do it, after retirement.
Well, like Fernando Torres, I'm pretty sure he went into bodybuilding or something after football. Crazy.
He did, yeah. Oh, mate. But right, let's do what we're a little long enough, mate. Let's discuss Middlesbrough 8, Man City 1. I know Roll fans have clicked on this video because I see 8-1 loss. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it because it was genuinely, I wouldn't say it was a low point. The whole season very easily been a much better year if we had just ended it better. Like if you actually look back, right, our season, we actually lost. Towards December, only lost about 3 games. Lost to Arsenal, got battered by Chelsea 6-0. Like we got battered 6-0 by Chelsea on the outside. Lost to Tottenham on the way. No surprises there. Tottenham curse was still going strong back then, of course. Pascal Chimbonda. Wow, that's a throwback. Jermaine Defoe. Jesus, and then. But it's like up towards the end of the new year, only lost 4 games, but won most of them and got a couple. It wasn't like a terrible point in the season. But then the new year hit, and we just kept we only won was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 games of our remaining games after New Year. We just completely fell apart. 2 games, lost them. It's like we just lost our heads. And then lost to Liverpool 1-0, lost to them 3-2 at home. And then lost to Middlesbrough 8-1 after Richard Dunn got sent off. That was generally I've never seen.
Didn't he Didn't he score an own goal as well? Didn't he score an own goal then get sent off?
No, he didn't. He got sent off after a quarter of an hour.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, was it so Stuart Downing got 2 goals. Afonso Alves. Do you know what? I want to see what happened to this guy after Middlesbrough. He went to fucking Qatar after that. He went to Qatar after cooking us in a hat trick. This guy's career just like, that's it, I'm done. I beat City hat-trick in 8-1. He played for Brazil 8 times, got a goal. Afonso Alves got played 8 times for Brazil in 1 year. 1 year,
Yeah.
2007.
I think,
Jesus,
to be honest, I think by the Middlesbrough game, I think there was obviously at this point there was quite a lot of uncertainty over SHINAWATRA and obviously Sven. And
yeah.
I think by this point everybody kind of knew what was coming, or sort of
on the wall.
Yeah, there was a change at some point through that season where we were doing okay, and then it was like the club must have heard something or something along those lines, and that's when things started to sort of take a turn, and I think people realised then, and I think it must have been on their minds that obviously everything that was going on with THAKSIN and things, and that I don't think people knew, the players knew, what their status would be of the club in the club. Whether they would have had to have been sold or whatever. So I think with it being as well the last game of the season, I think that people just wanted the season done and over with, and to focus on what was going to come.
Yeah, I agree on that one. It was kind of like everyone knew. It was like, right, okay, cool, end of it all and that. But yeah, I think the best goal for me of the whole game was Rockenbach's goal. That goal was unbelievable.
Was that free kick? Yeah. No, I remember that free kick. Oh, God.
Yeah, imagine Twitter after 8-1. Jesus, fucking mate, people would deactivate if it was 8-1. They genuinely deactivate. I wouldn't come back.
That's and like Briggsy said, what was going on behind the scenes would have had a massive impact on the finishing of that season. Yeah, I think what you were saying before, because there was a turning point in that season, and from memory, it was like sort of end of January, beginning of February, sort of things just didn't feel right. After Christmas, and things just didn't seem right. And I think from there, I think that's where everybody, there was so much uncertainty about what was going to happen around the club. And like I say before, in hindsight, it's a beautiful thing, because if it wasn't for the fact that THAKSIN had to sell the club, we wouldn't have Sheikh Mansour now. So
no. I mean, to provide some context, we lost 8-1. We went League Cup. We beat Bristol, Norwich, and Bolton, and lost Tottenham 2 at home. Defoe and Steve Malbronk. Wow, that's a throwback. Steve Malbronk. As Sakura got sent off. Dear Sakura. That's another throwback. It's mad the players you see. Yeah, you see that. Yeah. I remember these days, like, I was growing up into football, mate. It's crazy when you sort of see these names back. It's like goosebumps. Yeah.
There's almost like a sense of nostalgia about it, isn't there?
There is. Like, we're pretty average. It was like it's still good to see certain names back again. Sort of like, I think for me, look, I mean, obviously, the FA Cup lost Sheffield United 2-1 at Bramall Lane. The goals by Shelton. Bloody, that's a name and a half. And John Stead. Bloody hell. And obviously Sturridge School as well. So yeah, look, it was definitely a what if season. If things behind the scenes weren't so bad, I do wonder what would have happened if we had just been a bit more.
I think we would have got Europe.
Top 4, I reckon, or top 5, not top 4.
I think we'd have got top 6. I think that season with the players that we had. There was that turning point in the season after Christmas where there was a lot of unsettlement at the club, and I think from there on we did start to sort of drop off. And I think if that hadn't have happened, we'd have probably got Europe. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, Steve, it generally was getting hop on sofa. Fucking hell, jeez. Oh man, Joe, I'd laugh after watching. I'd laugh. It'd be like Joker, maniacally laughing as we look to see 8 goals. I wouldn't give a shit. I mean, oh mate, Charles and Briggsy. That's Charles and Zogbia. Whoa, that's a throwback. Figueroa, obviously Wigan players. DeSanto, Zogbia, Figueroa. Mate, Ali Habsi in goal. That was a bit later on.
What was that ginger one that scored against us in the FA Cup final?
Ben Watson. I hate that.
That's all.
and right, one day we'll go on that game. Just fucking hell, I was after that. I remember that. Yeah, I heard about Matt Bronx. Obviously, we were linked them for a bit, weren't we, Steve Matt Bronx? But it didn't happen in the end. I mean, was it Leon went to, or was it Sunderland he went to after Tottenham? I remember.
Steve Matt Bronx went to Leon.
I think he did. Hold on, bear with me. I will let you know. I'm very sure he did.
It's news to me, that.
Right, so after Tottenham, right. So basically, no, he started his career at Leon.
Right, yeah.
To Fulham, then Tottenham, then Sunderland, then St Etienne, Leon, and then went to Cannes, and then went like the lower leagues. But yeah.
Wow.
That's a throwback player. Joe, what, right? Well, whenever I think of French players, I think of Ben Arthur. He's one of my favourite players to watch for Newcastle. Hatem Ben Arthur, man. Look, honestly, I could go a whole day just talking about certain players that I love.
Yeah, he had that awful injury, didn't he, at Newcastle?
He did. Yeah,
it was almost like I think everybody thought it was a career-ending tackle because his leg was not in a good way.
Paul Scharner, fuck, yes, and so another throwback. Austrian player, gee, maybe a whole mate. Again, Barclays men. That's like it got me fully like, yeah, I'm watching certain old games again. Like, I say, Michu, man. I mean, a bit, but Michu was a top player for Swansea at that time. He was so good, like just on it. That QPR game was unbelievable.
Who was the Swansea player that pulled out the lion celebration?
Gomez, Timmy Gomez.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, I love that. Swansea players. Well, Scott Sinclair went to us in his career. Well, not really, but Wayne Routledge, Nathan Dyer, Leon Britton, Ashley Williams, mate. Fabianski. Well, that's where he came from. Swansea.
I think it was around that era as well. Maybe it was a little bit later. Maybe it was like 9-10, or it was definitely under Mark Hughes, I think. When Jimmy Bullard. Do you remember when was it? I think is he called Steve Brown?
Phil Brown.
Phil Brown.
The celebration.
He took that was at the Etihad, and he took them all over at half time. Because at the time, I had my season ticket. I was in 111, so I was right next to the away fans. And I remember him bringing them all over at half time, and I'd just gone and got a drink and a pie and come back. I was like, what's going on here? And he was just there, like, grilling them all, like, pretty much right in front of me. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I think it must have been the season after where Jimmy Bullard replicated that celebration. Yeah. I think Jimmy Bullard scored at the Etihad, I think it was.
Yeah, love that. Wait. Andy Johnson, Brady Hangeland. That's a cheap Brady Hangeland. Wow. Mate, again, throwbacks.
Yeah, Boxing Day. Yeah.
The whole circle. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, but no, I mean, looking back at this season, right? I mean, the one about the season was definitely the away kit, the purple away kit we went that year. It was nice away.
With the white pinstripes. I loved that.
I'm trying to get it because I want to get the one with Alana about this. I love that shirt looks so nice, but it's like 30.
The home kit and the I'm pretty sure the purple kit was the third kit. The home kit and the purple kit were the same kit, just a different color. They both had the thin pin stripes.
Yeah. God, it's a throwback, man.
I think I've got that kit somewhere actually. But my favorite City kit from around that era was, I think it was a bit later on, maybe 13 maybe, was the white kit, the white. I think it might have even been Nike actually. It was the white kit and it had the blue stripe, the light blue stripe and the dark blue stripe next to it, and it went down. They made that as, like, I think that was a limited edition kit. I don't think they made that many of them.
No, but it was definitely a really nice kit. Though, honestly, it was such a nice kit. And
was it Lecoq Sportif?
Lecoq Sportif, that was it. Lecoq Sportif, that was it. Yeah, honestly,
yeah.
Some of the kits you look back on, right? Some of them, like especially some kits. Well, I love the Thomas Cook kits. Always have liked them, and I definitely want to see. I mean, I love our new ones; they're always good. But I just feel like at times I really miss like the old school Thomas Cook blue stripes and that kind of stuff. It was such a different time, but like, obviously I love brother kits. That's an awesome old school design, but Thomas Cook, something about it. Different. Obviously, Thomas Cook now's gone now, so obviously you can't do that anymore because they're no longer here anymore. But it was a time of the club where it was different. It wasn't like I would say it was terrible, but it was like the era before the era. Before we got on,
I've still got some of my old Thomas Cook kits.
I'm trying to get some because I'm trying to get like the 07 or 08 when I'm trying to collect some of them because I love those kits. Like,
I'll sell you my one.
Sure, right? Yeah, why not?
It's signed as well. I think it's signed by Joe Hart. Or
is it
someone? Yeah.
Oh yeah, mate. Jussi Jääskeläinen, mate. That's a throwback. Bolton keeper, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the whole street talking about old players and that, but no. Looking back at this season now, I'll be honest with you, like it was definitely, I wouldn't say it was a bad season. Obviously, in the end, they got Europe, qualified. It was fair play, but we're still getting Europe at the end. But it was definitely a what if because the way we started the season actually ended like the 30 games of the end of the calendar year. We in like a pretty good spot. I'd say if I go back to obviously the first few games quickly. What was that? I mean, match day. What was the end of the season? Was match day sorry, bear with me. Match day 21. Match day 21, 22. We're in like 5th place. We're roughly around the top 5 in that. Well, I wouldn't say we were like guaranteed like title race, but I mean our title race ended up, I'd say, about match day 13.
Can you just when was match day 22?
Match day 22 was 12th of January. It was in a way.
And it was after that, that's when we started dropping off.
It was. How do you guess who scored the Everton goal?
I knew it was end of January, beginning of Feb.
Yeah.
Who scored the Everton goal? Stephen Pienaar?
Lescott.
Wow.
Yeah. It's mad that we see what.
I mean, there's another name for you though, Stephen Pienaar. You want to go?
Mate, he was a player, mate. Stephen Pienaar. What a player he was as well. Like just South Africa play. He's probably one of the best players I've seen from that country ever in my life. Like, he just had the ability of a player. I mean, his goal against United in the 4-4 draw. Thank you very much, sir, for that equaliser. Helped us win the league title. But never be forgotten. That was a mad game. That was a mad game. A 4-4 draw. Mad game.
Yeah.
Proper like Fergie style game, just end to end. Like I remember the West Brom 5-5 game when Lukaku went fully on destruction against United in 5-5.
I do remember that. Yeah.
It's a mad game, but yeah, at Lescott we obviously succeeded. Then obviously we drew with West Ham, drew with Derby, lost at Arsenal 3-1, and it got 2 goals in that game. And the year after that, he scored against Arsenal. It's funny how that works.
Everton back then were our version of Tottenham now. They were our bogey team back then,
Everton were class as well, under Moyes. They were a very, very good team at that point. I mean,
because we went through a mad spell where I think maybe for like a few years that we didn't pick up a point against Everton.
No. Mate, Aga, Finnan, Arbeloa, Masher, mate, bloody hell, we'll go back to like 2007, haven't we? Bloody hell. But yeah, mate, also, Eduardo as well. It was Arsenal. Good player, Eduardo. I rated him very highly. Shame about the injury. But yes, so we beat United 1-0. Giovanni, remember the goal. Then went to Old Trafford and Darius Vassell and Benjani scored 2-1. It's mad how in the year that they won the Champions League Premier League, we actually beat them 2-1.
Just to put it into context with City fans as well, right? So the expectation, obviously, our expectation now is to win the Premier League, to win the FA Cup, to win the Champions League. Our expectations back then, and Sven said it best. He said he come out of the stadium one day, or somewhere he was, and there was a City fan, and the City fan had said to him, we're not bothered about you winning all these trophies. Just beat United home and away. But there's two things I want from you. I want you to beat United twice.
Yeah. And now
you look at it now, right? That was our expectation back then. If we can beat United twice, that's made our season.
Yeah, and now we do it every season and win trophies with it as well. So in the end, it actually works out for us. We actually get both.
And now we beat United twice every year.
Yay! I mean, honestly, it's just mad, right? Both Everton games, we lost both games that season, and Lescott scored in both games. That's mad, that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Colaccini, the original David Luiz.
Mate, Reading away. Dave Kitson and Shane Long up front. Bloody hell. Shane Long at Reading. That's a fucking it. Beat Tottenham 2-1. Robbie Keane for Tottenham as well at the time. That's mad. Birmingham City away. Mauro Zarate. Is that Mauro Zarate? Mauro Zarate. That's a throwback.
Never. Did he play for Birmingham?
Yeah, he did. So basically, right, if I'm right in saying, so right, here we go. So he played for Velez Sarsfield. That's where he came from. Went to Qatar. Then whilst at Qatar, he went on loan to Birmingham and Lazio. Went to Lazio. Went on loan to Inter Milan. They went back to Velez Sarsfield. Then joined West Ham. Then went on loan to QPR. Went to Fiorentina, Watford. Then went to Al Nassr. Fucking he's everywhere. This guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different clubs. His career. 16.
Jesus. Because if you think about it, right, if you start from a very, very young age, like playing football, so say you start from 17, getting into first teams, you've got maximum of 20 years as a football player, maximum. And that's if you're playing till your late 30s. He's averaging a club a year, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, look at Lamine Yamal. He started his career at 15, I think. 15 years old he started his career, right? He could keep playing for another 25 years if he stays fit for enough. He could be done in football by about 2047.
Yeah, but again, even Yamal now, you look at Yamal, he's 15. If he got 35,
17 now.
Yeah, but what I mean is when he started, playing at 15, even if he gets to 35 and then retires, 35 is, that's when you probably come into the end of your career. He started very, very young, and he's only got 20 years in him as a footballer. Really, when you start to get to sort of 34, 35. That's when you sort of really come to the end of your career. So, he even starting at 15, he's only got 20 years in him, really.
Yeah, and now had a few teams as well. Remember that? Yeah, Arsenal, Bolton, Chelsea, City. Who else
yeah.
A few teams that he went to.
Played for Liverpool. Did he play for Liverpool?
I think he did. I'll have to find out. I mean. Well,
no,
I tell you what.
I don't.
No,
he played for Chelsea. I know that.
Yeah, mate. Chelsea, but Salomon Kalou. Remember him? He was a good player. Chelsea. Salomon Kalou was a good player. Under him and Florent Malouda and that Chelsea team with Drogba and Essien. That Chelsea team was proper Chelsea. The proper, like, that's what I remember of Chelsea in their pop, like one of the best players. Like, Drogba for me, one of my favourite players to watch outside of City. He was such a good player to watch. Goal scoring poacher, finals against them lot. You know, big goals. He was such a good player, man. Drogba. Such an awesome player.
No, he did. I knew he did. Yeah, Anelka did play for Liverpool. He went to Liverpool on loan.
So basically, Raheem Sterling's the modern day version of Nicholas Anelka.
Because we got him after he went to Liverpool.
PSG as well in Turkey. Yeah, Anelka everywhere, mate. He's everywhere, Anelka. Yeah, as well. Anelka was actually a good player. He was like, before he was actually a good goal scorer, wasn't he? You know, like the last time we beat Liverpool at Anfield with fans, he scored. I say with fans because for me that counts. I know we won 4-1, but me personally, I want to beat him with fans on the ground, just to end it properly. So there's no like, oh, with the fans, like, you know what I mean? This year, please, we actually beat him at Anfield this year, please. Can we stop messing around now? Can we actually get a win at Anfield, just like 1-0, and just own goal and just get out of there, please. Just end the curse.
Do you know where Anelka ended his career?
Is that a question? Is that that's what you know, or are you asking me?
No, I do know.
Oh,
he ended it at Mumbai City.
That's ironic. Started at PSG. Went to Arsenal, Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool on loan, City, Fenerbahce, Bolton, Chelsea, Shanghai, Genoa. That's when China was coming through, wasn't it? China Super League.
Which is our club in China? Is that like Shanghai Shenhua? Or I'm trying to think.
So the City Football Group. I'll let you know what our clubs are. This is a bit of a tangent, but this is what our stream is going to be basically. I'll just tag stream. We can talk about anything we want to talk about. Right, bear with me.
It would be interesting if he's played for three out of our clubs.
Right, so our teams are City, New York City, Melbourne, Yokohama Marinos. That's
the one. Yeah.
Montevideo is our Uruguayan team, I think. Girona, Spanish. Shenzhen, Peng City FC. That's our one. Shenzhen, Peng City.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking of that Yokohama though. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I would say so, mate. But I mean, look, is he going for like £100 million and sign-on fees and stuff? I mean, don't be wrong, right? Mbappe is a player compared to Anelka. I'd say Anelka's a better overall player. People like what on about it, but Mbappe for me is a player that I never would say is a great overall footballer. He's a great attacking player, but I wouldn't say he's great overall. His overall games is better than I've seen from certain players. I've seen better players than him in my lifetime, Mbappe. But
yeah,
it doesn't mean like that.
I mean, I'm going to leave you to get the heat on this one.
Oh yeah, go away, but go on.
But no, you are right. I do think that Mbappe is more of a speed merchant.
You know, as a goal scorer, he's brilliant. I think he's definitely one of the best in the world. I think Haaland's the best finisher in the world, but dribbling and that kind of pace, Mbappe is just unbelievable. But as I said before, but especially that Madrid team, for me, my favourite Madrid player is actually Rodrigo. That's why I like watching Valverde, because they're more technical players that I enjoy watching. I don't mind Bellingham on that, but they're not players that impress me very much. So they're good players at what they do. I mean, I love Vini Jr., but Rodrigo and Valverde as players show so much more intelligence in their play. Like against us, every time they played him, he scores against us every time he scores against us. So
Vini Jr. Not for me. He's just a massive shithouse, if I'm being honest.
I'll be honest with you, I look at him compared to like Neymar, right? It was a hype. Neymar was more hype because he had proven it at Santos. I'm not saying Vini Jr. hasn't anything. But when I watch Vini Jr., right, he scores some great goals, but people act like he's the best player in the world. He's not for me. I never really thought he was. He's never. I mean, the Ballon d'Or, right? I've said before. I don't think it should go to him or Bellingham. It shouldn't.
Oh no, for me, it has to go to Rodri. It has to.
Yeah. Because purely,
I mean, obviously, I'm going to be biased because I'm a City fan. You know, I'm pretty sure if I was a Real Madrid fan, I'd probably want a Real Madrid player to be a Ballon d'Or winner. But so it is probably, you know, club bias. But at the same time, I don't rate Vinny Jr. as highly as everyone else does. I think he's just a massive shithouse.
Yeah, mate, King Clancy, mate, was. I mean, I never got a chance to watch him, mate.
Clancy. I mean, like, I think we were unfortunate when we got King Clancy because it was like when we got King Clancy, it was a bit of a diamond in the rough type of situation. He was definitely. I mean, again, slightly controversial, but I think he was too good for the team that we had at the time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, mate, the thing is, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he misses out. Like, I'm saying this now, right? Don't be surprised if a Madrid player wins the Ballon d'Or. Don't be surprised.
No, it's Madrid PR. It'll happen. I know it'll
look,
happen.
What I'm hearing about Rodri and Madrid, right? Let's go to Madrid, right? This is about any player wants to leave a football club, fine. But get your money, but get the money from him that we obviously need. That where we value him at, right? End of the day, right? It doesn't matter how much the player wants to leave or not. Look at Silva. Still
Rodri for me, I wouldn't be entertaining anything less than 180.
Exactly. Man, imagine
you know, he's 29. He's 29. He's still got 6-7 years in him at least.
Yeah. Imagine him at City now. Oh, mate, you can't see at City now, mate. With Savio. Oh,
yes, Savio and Doku.
I mean, look, Doku is a player that we, is a conversation in itself.
That's actually an interesting one, though. Would King Clancy get into today's team?
People say, "Oh, he would." Like, well, we don't know, do we? It's different now. I mean, if you're comparing King Clancy, right, as a player to Doku and Savio,
because for me, King Clancy was more of a central attacker. He could play off the wings, but his best position was sort of anything where he had the most influence was normally from central areas of the park. So.
Right.
For me, like, yes, he could. He was a very versatile player. You know, he could play off the wing, but he could also play. Like, if you look at a lot of the goals that he scored, they're from ball carrying from sort of central areas.
Yep.
So then you'd say, okay, well, would he get over Kevin De Bruyne and Foden? That's a tricky one because for me, I don't know.
For me personally, right, if I'm actually being real with you, I think De Bruyne is a better player than Clancy. That's kind of like, I mean, for me, look, everyone has their opinions on who the best player to play for City is, and I completely respect that. But in my opinion, it's Kevin De Bruyne, just for how level of player he's played at a high level for so long. But
Kevin De Bruyne will go down as the greatest City player of all time.
I think people will admit it eventually. I think it's because Darren Silva was such a player for so many years, and I understand why Silva's so, and Colin Bell was as well. But when you actually look at it, when he actually retires properly, I think his assists and goals that he'll probably get more of the next few years before he retires. He'll end his career as probably the greatest midfielder we'll ever have in lifetime, and probably the best midfielder and player we'll have to see. Because I think Premier League wise, he's the best midfielder ever. Yeah. He has everything that Gerrard has, everything that Lampard, everything that Scholes has. And
for me,
also,
for me, you can't put Gerrard in the conversation of best Premier League midfielders because he never won the Premier League. But that, again, that's just my opinion.
So yeah, no, but look, people were like, one will actually do a proper Premier League, like, you know, all-time 11 are one together, and it'd be a good one to actually sort of discuss, because I've got quite a few different players in there that are compared to the popularity. But I just think, you know, when I look back at players like Clardsey, especially with what Steve's after, he was a great player for his time. Like, he was like, against Hampton, that goal against Hampton, mate, the goal he scored against them. Like,
that was from the central area as well, wasn't it?
It was. Whenever I've watched Kavica Kvaratskhelia, I like him as a player. He's a very, very good player of Kvaratskhelia. But I think he needs to leave Napoli to go to a better team in another country. And because I want to see him, because obviously I've seen him be brought as next big Georgian player. I think he will be. I'm not saying to us, by the way. I think he needs to go to someone a bit different. But I always thought if we ever designed Kvaratskhelia, get King Clardsey back for that promotion material. That'd be fucking awesome. Just the Georgian flag, you know, Georgian player, you know, wearing a certain shirt. But it looked cool. But I think now, especially with us Musiala or I can't see us getting a Kvaratskhelia now, unless Jack leaves in summer. But yeah, again, like there was some players for us over the years. I mean, that could, you know, doing an all-time City 11, right, sounds pretty easy on paper, but when you actually deep players was many years and eras of football, you have to actually watch all the games, I think, to have a better understanding of the players. Because I guarantee, if you meet a time machine about to Colin Bell's Summerby days, us people say a lot of different things. Because from what I've seen of Colin Bell when watching highlights of him, when I can find them, he was a brilliant player for his time.
Yeah,
brilliant. I wasn't around anywhere near born in that time. I appreciate greatness whenever I see it in any form. That's why I'm a big fan of Johan Cruyff and players like that, technical ability of players like that. Colin Bell and Summerby and players like that, and, you know, in that team was a whole different level of different style of football with where it is now. I mean, Steve, you are right. Bertie is the best ever. I mean, I think you are bang on there. I think it wouldn't surprise me, you know, if he is actually, you know, if we did a fan vote, probably would be Klopp. What year is that again? But was that like before 7 or 8? Well, was it the year after?
Oh, now you're asking. No, after.
Okay, all right. Well, look, I mean, the thing is, right, one day we'll do a proper breakdown, but I think for that kind of show we'll need someone else on here as well to probably give a different point of view on that one, because I think, I know you're older than me, mate, but I think we someone a little bit more understanding that side of it, a bit more of the older, you know, the older fans for that one, because for me personally, whenever I've tried to do any kind of all-time 11 and be fair to everyone, right, I'm always thinking, I'm gonna miss someone out. You know what I mean? Because it's not as simple. It's like, I know Edison might be like the guarantee, right? He's best keeper of the City, but it could be Hart as well for how good he was as well. It all depends on the point of view.
Yeah, and you know, there's shouts to include, you know, potentially Nicky Weaver for the time that he spent at the club, and obviously the historical moment of '99. And, you know, for me, he has to be in the conversation, you know. But if I'm going to be honest, my favourite, I'm not saying he's the best, but my favourite ever City goalkeeper is Shay Given. And if you just watch some of the saves that he made, like, and bearing in mind, this is around the time where we didn't have like the best of defenses. Like, if you look at some of the saves that he made during his time, like, they were incredible. Like, a lot of them, like, you were looking, he's like, you have no right to get that.
No.
Like, so for me, he's definitely not the best, but for me, he's my favourite goalkeeper of all time.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Like, remember watching it at Hart against Tottenham in that first opening game in that 0-0 draw with Tottenham. The amount of games,
Joe Hart against Barcelona. Now that is another conversation.
It gets messy as well. Suarez and Neymar.
Did you know? Stat for you. Messi has never scored a penalty against Joe Hart.
Wow. I mean, don't be wrong, right? He destroyed Milner. He pulled his pants down in front of everyone. Don't be wrong, right? I don't care. Look, for me personally, I want Barcelona just so we can probably beat them properly, and like for all the years they beat us, like 4-0 or 3-0, just at the new camps and that. But the thing is, like, some of our keepers we've had over the years have been incredible. Like even Hagen out now. For how good he's been for us the last couple of years. I wouldn't say he gets in there, but he stays another few years, and that's more performances. I can't say he doesn't deserve it, but again, that's a stream of the day, because I think that's the kind of video you need to do a whole chat about what involved there, because that's
you could do hours just on defenders. You could do hours on midfielders. If we were to do a full 11. It could take the best part of 10 hours to run through it.
All right. What we'll do is, right, as part of this retro years show, it won't just cover this season, it'll cover other stuff as well that we'll discuss about City in the past. What we'll do is, obviously, each week I'll try and get guests on. Might be you and me, or whatever, depending on obviously we can get available for us for that stream. We'll start building the best possible City team, but we'll do it each stream with a discussion about each position, because I feel like we can't do it justice in 1 to 1 hour stream. We have to give everyone a fair due. So if you want to see that, people, leave a like on the stream, leave a comment obviously on the chat right now, or in the YouTube chat after the stream goes up. Let us know what you think of it, because I think it would generally be a good idea. Just to get everyone involved in it, no matter who you are, everyone has their say on who's the best to keep playing in each position. I think it'd be an interesting team to sort of do. And what we'll do, I might get a graphic if I can of the player in that position, and we'll end the stream doing a little poll, and then we'll obviously see, right, these 4 players or 5 players will go for that position. I'll let chat decide who I think it should be in that position. So it's quite a bit more.
I think what we should do is, say there's 4 people or 3 people on it. I think we should both put forward 2 names for each position. So 2 names for goalkeeper, 2 names for centre backs, 2 names for wing backs. So then you've got 6 choices of wing backs. Yep. You've got 6 choices of every position, and then you basically build the team based around that.
Yeah, I say, look, what we'll do is obviously we'll definitely sort of get that in the running at some point. I think we'll obviously discuss many other things, obviously, in the the many years of this club. Because this season we discussed today was more just of a look back at the year before the madness began properly with Sheikh Mansour and era-defining levels of football we've seen recently. But it's more the fact that it gives a homage to where we were beforehand, not the relegation year, but more like years after Main Road, that little period of time where we're middling, doing all right, getting there, but it was not quite, sustainable. It'll be nice to actually it gives a bit of prompt to certain players. But I think going into the Abu Dhabi takeover and seeing the player we brought in, people think that we brought in insane players straight away. We didn't actually. Most of them were actually quite flops. Probably we've got the Torres and David Silvas of the time, but. Again, we'll go into it soon. Probably next few weeks we'll also go into it. We've been going for about 40 minutes now, which is quite a long stream for us. So nice to have a good chat with everyone. Reminisce about certain times, before. But look, I mean, obviously, this era, this season will obviously go down as one of those where, it was in our history. It won't seem like anything, but to me and Bevo, the fans who know about it, it's a time where we appreciate where we came from, where we knew we weren't this level of team all the time, but all the top 4, top 3, top 2, battling for titles every year, getting 4 in a row recently. We were a team that were buying players to try and get into Europe, to have the winning trophy. At this point, So I won a trophy for how many years? Was it like how many years was it since won a trophy? I remember, was it FA Cup?
For what, before we won the trophy? Was it 32 years, or was that just the Premier League?
5 years. Yeah, that was it. It was yeah, it was a long time.
I remember going to the thing, and the stadium, and the timer was
right down.
rolling
Yeah,
back the years. Yeah. Just to touch on what you were talking about then, about obviously, you know, this era of football being significant to sort of know where we've come from. I think whenever I sort of look now at where we are now in comparison to where we were, the bit that kind of does it for me is going back to the years of Sean Goater, where the club almost went completely bust. There was a point around that time where money was a massive problem for City, and to the point where the players, they got given 2 kits a season, and they couldn't. The club couldn't even wash them because they couldn't afford the bills for washing the kits. So the players had to take their kits home and wash their kits themselves. Now, when I look at where we were then to where we are today, it's like it's a completely different club. And so to have that memory from those years where we had nothing, we had no money, we had nothing, but we still enjoyed the football, and we still loved the club. At the end of the day, we've got that saying, we never win at home and we never win away, but and we lost last week and we lost today, but we don't give a. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. It for us, and in particular the older fans, it doesn't matter that whether we win back-to-back trebles. Obviously, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice, and it would literally be a dream come true, but I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if we got relegated. I'd care to the point where it's like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, miss playing in the Champions League or whatever. But it still wouldn't change my love for the club. I'd still go to every game that I could possibly go to. I'd still watch every game that I possibly could. At the end of the day, City till I die means City till I die. Whether we're in the Premier League or we're in the Blue Square North, it makes no odds to me. Wherever we are, I'll be there, and I will continue to support you.
Absolutely. And Steve, trust me, that idea will also be part of it. So we'll definitely get something together. Obviously, with what I'm going to say, this is a new series that we're doing. With Bevo, it's obviously a new thing we're sort of starting. It gives a chance to talk about other things rather than just the current City stuff. Obviously, if you ever ask for questions about current stuff, we'll obviously answer it and give you an answer on what we think of certain things. But this is a show more about discussing the past, sort of appreciating where we came from before going into the current day exploits. You have De Bruyne, Haaland, and that. I mean, look, it's always great to see that. I love seeing it, but it sort of comes to fruition a lot more when you sort of see where we came from before that, and that's what I appreciate a lot more now as I've got older. Yeah, it's been a great start to the series, and I'm really looking forward to sort of bring this hopefully every week. Obviously, depending on both of us, we'll work out anyway. But hopefully, it's going to be good to sort of discuss it with some. Obviously, I'm older than me, but I can sort of appreciate a lot more before we got this good, so I can understand a bit more of that side of things. But it's nice to sort of have that different levels of sort of opinion, also appreciation as well. And big up, Stephen. Obviously, Caribbean Race. I know you guys are commenting throughout the stream. Always appreciate it, mate. Also, I know you're obviously here every stream, as you Caribbean always, you're always here as well. I mean, we appreciate you guys. Obviously on Twitter, YouTube, we appreciate all support, no matter whether you're watching anyone right now, as well as us. It's appreciate every comment, like the subscription. Always appreciate it, no matter who it is, and we appreciate it so much. And I look forward to bringing series. Obviously, more every week. You know, a chance to look back, a chance for other fans to sort of appreciate and see where we came from, and that's what this is about. It's if you want to watch, as I said before, if you want to watch the main road era, make sure to go to my channel and what it is, because trust me on this, Martin and Foggy and all them lads know a lot better than I do. I'm not saying I don't know anything a little bit, but I wasn't even born at that time, so I can't really comment very much on it as much as I can. But I always say, if you want to watch the road year, trust me, you need to watch it. Watch his channel, watch his streams. They're well worth the watch, especially the hour or so. I'm chatting away about it. But this channel about the recent years, and you get to appreciate obviously where we came from. We'll definitely discuss obviously 8 and 9, obviously 9 and 10, and we'll get towards the Mark Hugh. He's obviously a bit more in depth in a few weeks, and we'll obviously bring some guests on as well. Stay tuned. That is coming soon. I've got to work things out with people when they're free, but trust me, it is coming soon. I'm going to look forward to it. But big up the chat, big up the likes, obviously, and big up the comments as always on Twitter and YouTube. Big up Bevo, always obviously to being here with me, chatting away about City as always, but the moment it's the past, the future, or present day, the City to us, and City till we die, as always.
Yeah,
you know, and
just to sort of end and finish off, and you know, I apologise for using this as a bit of a platform to have this discussion, but sort of recently, you know, there's been quite a lot of heat within the City community, and what I would say, guys, at the end of the day, we support the same club, even if we don't support the same club. At the end of the day, it's a game of football. It's designed for entertainment purposes. You know, you don't know whether the person you're standing next to, or the person that you're having this argument with, or the person that you're giving stick to, you don't know what they're going through in their own personal lives. You know, people have real world problems. And at the end of the day, we do have a bit of banter, and we like a bit of banter. But I think it's important to remember that we're all human, and that, you know, please be respectful to each other, and please be nice to each other, and please do be kind to each other, because you don't know what people are going through in their own personal lives. And, you know, I've seen a lot of things floating around, not just the City community, but throughout all sort of social media spaces and things. And, you know, people are quick enough to jump on, you know, we get, as City fans, we've had stick on 115, and we're cheaters and we're scumbags and this, that and the other for God knows how long. At the end of the day, we support our club just the same as anybody else supports their club. And we will continue to back our club the same way as you guys would then go and back your club. Just remember, it's a game of football. Be kind to everybody. And, you know, we're all human. The country's going through a tough time at the moment right now anyway, as it is. You know, the least that we can do is not create any division between ourselves. Be kind to each other. And, yeah, just peace and love.
As always. And on that note, everyone, we'll bid you good night. We'll see you next week. Take care, everyone. I'll good them.